All right, I got my card. I got my shot glass. I got my water. There's just nothing more I could ask for. Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we feeling good? Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Are you guys rolling?
So good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm rolling too. All right. Well. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna start. All right, yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Crackheads. This is the first official episode, not the first one we shot, but like we just kind of were fucking around in those first few, you know. But now for real, this is actually in real life Crackheads episode 1, and here we are. You know, we found this cloth in the street yesterday. Shout out Fish and Chris. We got the Jesus piece in front of us. Our name tags right here, and we have suits on because we're pretty official. And I'm pretty drunk already. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel fucked up. I feel fucked up right now.
Are you excited for this, Kyle?
I feel very excited for this right now.
What do you, when you think of this show, what comes into your brain?
We're gonna be getting fucked up. We're gonna be talking about fun things. We're gonna do activities.
No.
What about them? What about
I
them?
was just asking if those came to mind.
They come to mind.
Listen, guys,
We've done those.
we have handcrafted the most beautiful possible set here using minimal resources because this is expensive to do in real life, all right?
It is.
Scavenged cardboard, okay? Goodwill cloth, okay? John
Yep.
Deere cloth, okay?
Yep.
This suit I've worn numerous times. I got it at Macy's. I don't even know where that's from.
Still got the tags on.
How much was it? What's the tag say?
$15.99,
$15.
baby.
$15 for the suit.
It only costs $5.
And it only costs $5 because we got
Yeah.
deals all day. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got to say, welcome to Crackheads. This is going to be a fun time. We got a lot of stuff for you guys. And I don't know, man. You know, for those of you guys out there watching who maybe don't understand, you're like, why is this called Crackheads?
You'll figure it out.
I feel like I got to reiterate, you know, once again, Kyle, you're the guy I smoked with when we were in high school.
Yeah, we did.
You know,
one
we
time.
cooked it together one time. We smoked it, and you know, that was a fun time. I will say though, I think like it's kind of overhyped, for sure.
Yeah, it was a good time for like 30 seconds.
I'm glad I never got hooked, dude, because like real heads, dude, they talk about that shit crazy. You see the Hunter Biden interview on Channel 5? That guy got hard talking about that shit.
Yeah, he did.
That guy, like, real heads fantasize about it forever, dude. It doesn't matter how long you've been sober. But thankfully, we're just chilling here. We're doing our thing.
I mean, while we're on the topic of Isaiah, you remember that time we spent all night getting fucked up with him at the Red Roof? I don't even think it was a Red Roof. I think this one was like a Marriott. It's a little nicer than the Red Roof.
Was it the hotel that was across from the Red Roof?
It could have been.
The extended stay?
Yeah, something like that. We spent like all night getting. Actually, you know what? This was the Red Roof. There was one night we stayed with Isaiah and we did.
Listen, we lived in a lot of hotels, I feel like,
did.
short term.
We did.
Me in particular.
We did and like he was supposed to be the designated driver and he had to call his date. Remember that?
That chick you met at Mongolian barbecue?
Well, I think they had dinner at Mongolian barbecue after.
That blonde chick, right? Who used to come and do with us and stuff?
I don't remember that. I don't remember ever meeting her before or again. But she came and got us.
Then it couldn't have been the same girl, bro.
And yeah, he was supposed to be the designated driver, but instead she had to come pick us up. And then yeah, they went on their first date and he was on it. I imagine that had to be
Wait.
crazy first date.
I think that's the girl I'm talking about. The blonde chick that worked with him at Mongolian barbecue, right?
Could be. That could be.
And
They
then
might
he
have worked
came back
together.
that night.
Right.
And what hotel was this at?
I think it was the extended stay or next to the Red Roof. It could have been a Marriott also, but it was not the Red Roof. I remember it was we were smoking the Jungle Boys.
You've completely lost me because this is also not the thing you wrote down at all.
No.
This is completely out of left field, dude. Listen, yo, we have a script for this shit, and Kyle took 3 shots before we started and said, fucking light it on fire.
No.
Light that shit on fire. completely out of left field. I remembered the thing you wrote down. What you're talking about right now, you're gonna have to. All right,
I'll get
wait.
back to the thing I wrote back down.
But okay, but no. The chick, it was the blonde girl because I remember her specifically because she used to do hella like more than him.
That could be. It could be. I don't remember her meeting her again though. I just remember her like she picked us up. She dropped me off before they went on their date, and that was the last I ever saw of her. So I don't know if she did hella blow or not, but I remember I thought because she told us when she picked us up, she hit a deer on the way, and the whole car ride, I remember this smell in the car, and I remember blaming like the smell in the car on. Oh, she must have just like had some of that deer in her grill or something.
Was this when
but
he?
I had
no,
the Jungle Boys in
the
my
Christian
pocket.
girl.
Could be.
It was the Christian girl.
Yeah,
He was this really straight edge girl that he went on a date with. I was saying, okay, I had moved from our hometown at this point, which was in northern Illinois, the suburbs of Chicago. I had moved a few hours south down to Springfield, and I was dating a girl. You remember my ex? I had brought her up, and we booked that hotel room, and you guys came over, and then we all dropped, and that was when I bought the fake off Dave. And he was like, yo, they're Pharmapram, bro. They're from Mexico, and they were actually just chalk.
Yeah,
Like, he was like, bro, I swear, they're just different because they're Mexicans, bro. You don't even know my Mexican homie.
Yeah.
Like, my Mexican homie's been to Guadalajara or wherever the fuck, dude. Like, you wouldn't even understand. Like, and I blocked him that night. I was like, dude, I'll smack you upside the head if I ever see you at Mongolian barbecue. Like, f yourself, you know? And I remember you, for whatever fucking reason, like, didn't you like third wheel on his date or some shit?
No, I didn't go on his date. I went home. I was too fucked up, but I remember like he was supposed to be the designated driver, and then I watched him take a tab of, and I had known this guy to not really handle his ass.
The only reason I remember this night is because I remember when Isaiah, who by the way, I refer to in my videos as Isaac, so that might ring a bell
Peter
for some of you guys.
Some of them, yeah. I think.
Yeah, I forget the names and I pick a new one, and then it gets really bad. But you know, either way, he was our like schizo ass homie who was just a complete trip. And the only reason I remember this night is because I remember when he came back, I brought my Xbox up and we were playing Borderlands in the room, and we were off the. We were doing hella that I bought from our guy who I'm not going to name before he went to jail. And I was up there with my girl at the time. And I remember this because then after all of you guys left, bro, I kept parachuting and doing. I watched Scarface like 5 times in a row. Like literally, I stayed up for 12 hours straight and just watched Scarface. Like every time it stopped, I'd be like, yeah, that movie was fire. Run that shit back. And then I had like a big, I don't know how I didn't have a heart attack. I had a big amount of in front of me and I would just do more. And I remember the next day, I was like still awake. I hadn't slept all the night before. I think we linked up again.
Probably.
If I remember correctly. Yeah. And that was a fucked one, like later in the day. But I do remember that night. Do you remember like who the girl was though?
I have no idea who the girl was. Yeah. No, I don't remember.
When did you go home though? Like did you
straight after she picked us up? She picked us up and then she dropped me off.
Oh, so his date drove you home?
Yeah, and then they went on their date. And
did
I
he
remember
like scare her off
complaining
or
the
what?
whole way. I thought the smell in the car was the deer they hit. It was actually the weed in my pocket that I forgot I had in my pocket. Because remember, somebody knocked on our hotel door and we thought it was like security, so we just started stuffing shit in our pockets.
Pretty sure it was security, dude.
Yeah, so we started stuffing shit in our pockets. I forgot that I did that. So I went home with this bag of the Jungle Boys in my pocket. And like,
was that
I was playing, yeah, and I remember playing League of Legends and like the whole time I'm like, dude, I still smell that smell. And I'm like, I hear the crinkle in my pocket and I was like, oh my God.
I paid a lot of money for that Jungle Boys, bro. I paid a lot of money for that. Okay. This is back when Jungle Boys was a big deal in Illinois.
I think I gave it back to you. But yeah, I remember having that in my pocket.
The sour apple killer. I remember the strain to this day. The sour apple killer. Yeah, I'll never fucking forget, dude.
Yeah.
I'll Google it right now. I remember the label. It was like an angry apple on it.
Right,
Jungle
and it
Boys.
didn't really smell like. It almost smelled like rotting meat or something. Like it was a really strong smell.
With the samurai sword, this exact bag, bro. I paid Brett's ass so much money for the zip.
Yep.
He flew back from Cali and acted like he was El Chapo with it. He was like, bro, honestly, I took the risk for this, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I need at least like 500 for the zip. Like, I took the risk.
Yeah.
And he just hopped on Southwest. Dude, those were the fun times, dude. Nowadays, like I feel like I get that fucked up and I have like the aftermath of it to deal with the next day. I feel like back then I could get really like that fucked up, stay up for like 2 days straight,
and then
just sleep it
school.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
just
go to
do-
school
just
the next day. At
thug it out,
7
you
a.m.,
know?
No problem. Yeah.
No issue at all.
Yeah.
You know what comes to my mind, kind of on the topic, because I was tripping on that night? I remember specifically, I think it was our very first trip when we went to my friend Jason's house. You remember him?
I do.
And Jason was a trip. He's a guy who I grew up with this kid. He's one of the few. I've actually known him longer than you. I went to preschool with Jason.
Okay.
Jason, like super OG friend of mine. But we all took, like Kyle was our trip sitter. So me and my friend Jason wanted to trip for the first time. Kyle was all like, I've tripped before, so I got you guys.
Yeah.
And we went over to Jason's house. Me and you had a great time.
Right.
Jason did not have as great of a time.
No.
But I specifically remember maybe halfway-ish through the trip, I'd rolled we had a bunch of with us. Probably, I think it was a half ounce, which at the time, that's a bunch of dude.
Yeah.
In high school, buddy.
Yeah.
That's 28 half-gram, okay? And a half gram is a fat. We were rolling 0.3s, buddy. So, like, that was lit. So we rolled hella. We called all the hoes over, come hit the. We ate his mom's leftover meatloaf she left in the fridge, bro. And
Fire
the meatloaf fucked my stomach up, dude. I remember I was nauseous. We went out in his backyard. Beautiful neighborhood. Really nice house, bro. Like, this guy, literally a house where the average home price, mind you, in like 2015 was probably 600 grand.
It was probably close to $1 million house.
Beautiful.
Like a wonderful house.
It was actually really funny because do you remember how it was split? Literally on one side of the main road was his neighborhood, which is all the rich houses, and you walk across the street and it was you and me.
Yep.
In the condos,
like the little
bro.
townhouses,
The fucking the little condos, dude. You had a 2-story townhouse at least. I had a condo, bro. Your shit was like a mansion. Your shit was lit, dude. I was like, fuck, this guy's a staircase. Like, but I remember we somewhere late in the night, maybe 1 a.m., we had rolled maybe a couple even, but we went out back, and one of them, I remember I was hitting it, and I projectile vomited all over the.
Do you remember that?
All over the. Encrusted the, and I threw it. Immediately, I was disgusted. I was like, oh,
yeah,
threw the away. Jason was mad at me for throwing that.
Mm-hmm.
He was not happy. Do you remember how that played out?
I remember you literally sparked the once.
I think it was like
vomited off to the side. Like you didn't puke on the or anything, but the made you vomit, so you threw it off into the distance.
I puked a little bit on.
Did you?
I think maybe in the moment I maybe didn't want to make it seem like that. Low key, I probably tried to play it off cool, bro. I threw up on the in my hand, like for sure. Yeah, like I was holding it like this, yak on my knuckle type shit. You know, like involved too.
Yeah, so he ditches the blunt and he's like, "Fuck that, we're not smoking that one." So I'm like, "All right, whatever. I'm already tripping. I don't care." Jason cared. Jason did not appreciate
he cared
that.
So
he was like,
deeply.
"You just wasted a." That's a
mind you,
right?
My
right.
fucking.
So yeah, we went in and I think we were playing like League of Legends or something. He went back out and found that shit
And sparked it up.
He did. He smoked it.
Smoked the whole yak that I puked all over and faced it too. Like we didn't know until he came back in.
Yeah.
I remember he came back in. And then that night, after he smoked my yak, I had to go home.
Yeah. Was that the fuck technology night?
When I threw my phone at the rock?
Yeah, this dude.
That was the same night.
He gets like a text from his mom or something, and it stresses him out. Okay.
And I was dating a girl at the time. We had just
like
gotten in a fight.
Brand new like iPhone 6 Plus or something, right? It was the big one.
Big money back then.
And I remember, I had like a little plastic 5C, and he has this brand new 6 Plus, and he gets like a text from his ex that stresses him out. So he just goes, fuck technology, and throws his phone at the biggest rock in sight and destroys his phone.
Right outside of Jason's porch.
Like a week-old phone.
He had like a path, like a concrete path, and it was like mulch and then these really big rocks set along the mulch to like guide you down the path.
Yep.
I got a text, and it was like my ex, but like we had just broken up. I dated this girl for 3 weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks tops. It was the most stressful 2 or 3 weeks of my life. But you got to realize I was 15 years old, so like I cared, you know, at that point. She hit me up. She's on some stupid shit. I'm like, yo, I'm tripping balls. I'm not in the right mental state. I just puked on my hand, you know. I'm like, this phone is causing me a lot of problems. Like this phone, my mom's telling me to come home. My ex has hit me up. fuck this shit. And I just tomahawked it at the rock and destroyed my phone.
Brand new phone.
Completely destroyed it, you know? My poor mom had just financed that phone.
Yeah.
And, mom's time to finance another one.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Which I got a shittier phone after that. I do remember. I went back to the 5. I had the big, like, the rounded corners. I went back to the 5 after that.
Yep.
But that was specifically one of the instances that I remember as, like, A, one of the most disgusting things Jason did, and B, like, one of my favorite trips. Because dude, Jason's house is a perfect spot to trip.
Well, and then also, like, part of that trip was, so we had the greatest come-ups of all time. I remember we were playing League of Legends in separate rooms. I was, like, in his living room or his dining room.
I was in his dining room.
I think you were up in his room.
No, you were in his room. I was in the dining room, I'm almost
Okay.
certain. Or he was in the room. But I remember vividly being in the dining room because that's when
I remember the kicking in, and I just ran straight into whatever room you were in, and I was like, "Do you feel it yet?" And I
remember
looked
that.
at you, and I could tell. I was like, "Yeah, this dude's tripping balls." And then that was like the start of your first trip, and yeah, we had the greatest time.
I was so excited to be tripping, and then our homie Jason was the polar opposite. He was not having a good time.
I did not know his brother was home. I remember playing.
What?
I was playing
Wait, what are
League
you
of
talking
Legends.
about?
So I was playing League of Legends in his dining room. Right, I'm at his dining room table playing on my laptop, and his brother came out of the basement.
His brother was home for that?
I did not know that.
I still to this day didn't know his brother was home.
brother
What are you
was home
talking
for
about?
that. His brother came out of the base. I
All
didn't
right,
even know he
Michael
had a
doesn't
brother.
care though, bro. His brother doesn't.
Yeah.
Literally is a hermit, dude.
But I didn't know that. I didn't even know he had a brother. So this older dude comes out of the basement, and I'm tripping balls in the dining room by myself in a house that I do not live in. Jason's upstairs. Like, so I didn't even know if Jason had told his brother I was over, you know? So I just see this dude come out of the basement, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm
it's
busted,
over, dude.
you know?
That's
yeah.
Hunk or something.
Yeah, so I remember running upstairs, like, who's this? Some dude just came out of the basement. Jason's like, that's my brother. All right, cool. You know, he probably should have
I assume
announced
you don't
himself,
want
but
me.
whatever. I'm good, thank you.
Hibiki.
But yeah, I remember that scaring the shit out of me. I was tripping so hard, and then his brother just emerged, and I didn't even know he had a brother.
Dude, his brother is like a legendary incel. You don't have to worry about anything. He doesn't leave that room in the basement for anything except sustenance, like water and food.
Yeah.
You know, essentials. That's it.
Yeah.
I had, still to this day, you just taught me something new about that night because I still didn't know his
He
brother was
literally
there for that.
walked upstairs, saw 3 like 17, 18-year-olds tweaking off their rockers, and then just went about his day. He didn't give a shit.
Dude,
Not at all.
shout out his brother for being cool and not
Super
snitching.
cool. Super
Could
cool.
have easily been annoyed by us and called his
Right,
parents and
right.
shut it down for the night.
Did not
Instead,
give
he
a
went
shit.
back downstairs and played World of Warcraft like I know he did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Did not give a shit about us.
What a goat, dude.
Do you remember the time we spent all night at the Red Roof getting fucked up? And then like I think we were drinking
Wait,
Heineken.
hold on. Can I ask real quick before you
Uh-huh.
get further into it? What time at the Red Roof? Because we need to date this because, bro, I lived in hotels a lot when I was younger.
I think, right after your mom kicked you out. I think. I could be wrong. I think this was right after your mom.
Do you remember what year is? Because my mom kicked me out a lot of times.
I think it was right
Was it the
before you
2-week
moved to
stint, the really long
Springfield.
stint?
I
or
think
no?
before you moved to Spring. Yeah, it was the 2-week stint.
That was
Yeah.
a little before I moved. That was
Okay.
like a little before the DUI,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. 2019 summer.
So we
think.
had picked up like a bunch of Heineken beer. We were drinking. I think it was the night. Remember when Bobby brought like Gianna over? He's like, I have a whore for every man, and he brought one woman.
Bob, we originally the night started was NBA Finals. It was Golden State
Was it?
Warriors versus
Was it?
Cleveland Cavaliers. I remember it so well now. Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland Cavs, and they had it for free on the hotel TV at the Red Roof
yeah.
Inn, and everyone was trying to come through.
Yep.
Bob was trying to come
Yep.
through, and originally I kind of wasn't open to it because we already had our liquor and our. So we were
Right.
locked the fuck in. I was like, dude, why would I invite anybody else over? And our friend Bob, who, you know, great friend of ours, funny guy, we got to get him on here at some point.
Yeah.
Bob fucking hits me on my phone. He's like, listen, I have a whore for every man. Like, every man. I have a whore for everybody. Like,
Yep.
don't even worry. And he pulls up with 2 people. He pulls up with Gianna, who's in a relationship, okay? very nice woman, great looking woman in a relationship. That's not a whore for every man.
No.
That's a whore for one man, and the man's not even there to begin with.
Nope.
Okay? And he pulls up with Tom, who brought a case of Mike's Hard.
Yes.
And he brought a case of Mike's Hard, and that's
and
not a whore
Gianna
for
was
every
carrying it for him. I remember that.
And Gianna carried the
specifically
case of Mike's
because
Hard.
I
and
did
for,
comment on it. I was like, huh, how nice of Gianna to carry her liquor in for you.
But what
Or
about
how
that
nice
specific?
of Tom to carry Gianna's liquor for her?
What about that specific night like comes to mind?
Well, so we had spent all night getting fucked up like that. We were drinking, doing, hanging out. After they left, we stayed the night in the Red Roof.
Yes.
We woke up, and I don't remember if it was your alarm or what happened, but you got kind of startled when you woke up, and you knocked off a from the nightstand in between our two beds. We had like, the 2-bed hotel rooms where there's like a nightstand in between. We had just and bottles on the nightstand. So you woke up, and I think you were like reaching for your alarm, and you just knocked over a. That startled you, and you like kind of made like a oh noise. That woke me up. I don't know how the fuck I went about this.
I do remember this.
But I just like floated into an upright position and started bouncing up and down going.
You like fell off the bed. You like came off the bed. All right. So like you learned this on this day. I'm a really like light sleeper. Really light. Like I'm heavy, but like when I wake up, I'm alert as fuck, dude. I'm super alert. So like when I get startled in my sleep, it's over with. Like even to this very day, just the other day, dude, I got up scared. So I literally sat up. I was like, oh, like I yelled and shit. Got up, started patrolling my apartment and shit, bro. Sometimes I grab my gun, start patrolling my shit, dude. It's crazy. I'm just a very like. I wouldn't say, I guess light sleeper is the wrong word because when I'm really deep in my sleep, it's hard to wake me up. But when I wake up, I get very startled no matter what. Even if I had an amazing sleep, I wake up terrified every day. Like someone just dumped a bucket of cold water on me. So like, I don't remember what happened exactly, but I remember knocking something over. Like something loud startled me. And I remember you woke up because of it. Because I think I knocked something off the nightstand and you like fell out of bed. Because you were scared because I was being loud. Right, yeah. So I scared you, and then you scared me further. So I got all the way up. I, like, stood up. And this is just, like, a traumatizing, like, fucked up moment, dude. It was, like, 6 a.m. And I was like, what just happened?
We're both hungover. And it got to the point where we're both just at the edge of our beds, like, sitting, facing each other.
Yes, there's bottles everywhere. We're in the Red Roof room.
Making monkey primitive noises. Like,
I'm sleeping, like, literally sideways on my bed. Like, I'm the wrong way on the bed in my room. We're in one of those, like, two like, big bed rooms. I'm literally sideways hanging off my shit, like, slumped. Before I wake up. And I woke up in a weird position. Maybe that threw me off, too. I woke up like, wait, this isn't the angle I'm normally asleep at. I remember literally mopping the nightstand. I, like, reached over. It wasn't just the dude. I knocked the lamp off that bitch. I remember that part. I knocked, like, everything off the fucking nightstand. And then you came up, scared the fuck out of me. And if I remember correctly, I think we just woke up and I did more. That point
because I think you scared me and like I went from like sleeping to like adrenaline like right away, and I did this like crazy push-up where I like went from like sleeping on my stomach to like sitting upright like instantly.
Did you ever bump into the pimp that was 3 doors down from that room?
Yeah.
The guy with the long blonde hair?
And he always had a wife beater on?
Bro.
Yeah.
There was quite a few nights where I thought about going and knocking. I'm not gonna lie. I was drunk enough, I was coked up enough. You had some old Asian ladies that were probably giving massages in the room over.
Yeah.
And a guy like me, I probably would have indulged. I'm just going to say. What a time, dude. Living like, there's really a certain, I don't even know what the word is for it. There's just a certain thing about that era of our lives. Like when we were able to just go live in a Red Roof Inn for a week next to a pimp and like just, there's no consequence to it. Yeah. You can't do that anymore. Like I can't do that, That's a fun time. Yeah. That's a good fucking time. It's okay to be past that, but it's also like, it's okay to acknowledge that was great.
Yeah.
That was a great time.
That was a good time.